Howdy everyone. I hope you are well. I am here in the Pyrenees, which you can see right behind. Beautiful up there in the mountain. I've been driving around quite a bit, so I'll do a short yoga video for tight hip flexors, the psoas, because when you drive, you sit a lot, so that shortens that muscle. And actually yesterday I went to an Ashtanga class at one studio in Psoooo. Very nice, beautiful, but some of the poses I could feel it was just tightening, and it was really hard. I was just like, wow, too much driving. So this is a great video if you do a lot of sitting at a desk or driving, and it's great in the morning, just like now, to prepare for the day, or also any time of the day. It's going to be short, but quite effective at working all around the hips. So we'll start with some sun salutations right away in some movement. But first, we'll make sure to ground nicely with the feet into the earth. Feel that grounding. Feel the energy of the earth coming back up into the legs, so we can start to activate in the quads, even the glutes, all around the pelvis. So we find that stability is quite important for all the work that we are going to do around the hips. It's not just the psoas, otherwise, obviously, if you just work one side, front, and not the back, then you get imbalances, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So it's good to work everything as well. So we'll take a few deep breaths. You can maybe already feel, along with the breath, that energy, connection with the earth. Maybe you feel that lift with the inhale from the feet into the pelvic region, into the spine. So we start activating also in the core. And the exhale helps to relax everything down, ground you even more from the shoulders, relaxing. The core is still active, but at the same time relaxing the ribs, side ribs, the hips, ground into the feet. A few breaths like this. You can close the eyes. This helps to really start to feel into the body, maybe even the emotions, really connecting with our inner world, the sensations of the moment, maybe those psoas, hip flexors, how they feel, are they tight, maybe one is tighter than the other for some reason, right or left, feeling it in the lower back, whatever that might be. This helps to connect. And as such, we want to keep the connection with the breath throughout the practice as much as possible. So if at any time you feel you're becoming a little bit short of breath, out of breath, that's probably a good indication that you want to do this practice a little bit slower, more consciously, so that you can synchronize breath and movement. And here we go, we can open the eyes. As we inhale, we can rotate the palms out towards the front, thumbs out. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky, lift the head gently, nice and easy for the first one. Look to the thumbs, Slowly, palms forward. Exhale, we start to hinge at the hip level. Bend the knees. Reach forward with the crown of the head, extending the spine, reaching far with the fingers, and then all the way down. Just nice and easy. Release fingertips to the floor. Inhale, elongate the spine, look forward. Exhale, ease over the legs, head down. Inhale, right leg back, drop the knee, point the toes, fingertips still by the sides of the foot to the earth. And on the same inhale, you reach the heart forward, shoulders back. And exhale, left knee meets the right. Bend the elbows, keep them in, little arch into the spine, heart, chin or forehead to the floor. Release onto the abdomen, point the toes, inhale, lift the heart, mini back bend, Ardha Bhujangasana. Exhale, release, tuck the toes, push onto the hands for our first down dog. We'll stay for a few breaths here. You can walk your dog gently, making sure that you have good connection with your hands. Just like we did with the feet, this applies for the hands. Hasta Bandha. Still breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. So now we are grounded through the feet and the hands. Elongating the spine every inhale. Easing into the pose, into the body every exhale. Next inhale, slightly bend the knees, look forward between the hands, right foot in between the hands. Drop your back knee, point the toes. Same inhale which you try to lengthen, reach the heart forward. Maybe even start to bring the gaze up if available. And the exhale, head down, press the right foot strongly into the earth. Left foot to meet the right. Still bending into the knees. And on the inhale, slowly we'll roll the spine up. Arms nice and heavy for now. And when you start to stack the shoulders over the hips, the arms rise forward or to the side, your choice. Palms together. We stretch the front of the body, the side ribs. Exhale, release the arms by the sides. And we go again. For the other side, inhale, arms up. Try to lengthen the inhale, nice and smooth. Exhale, still bend into the knees if you need to. Back is flat as much as possible. You reach as far forward as possible with the fingers. And you relax over the legs. Inhale, flatten the spine, elongate heart forward, shoulders away from the ears. We stretch the back of the legs. Exhale, fold, relax over the thighs. Inhale, left foot this time. Same easy sun salutation here. Maybe looking up a little bit further as we open. This time the exhale is going to take you into a plank, so you can tuck your toes, lift the back knee, right leg back, chaturanga. Exhale, drop the knees, elbows in, arch the spine, release the heart to the floor and then the belly, and point the toes. Inhale, if available you can lift up to the full Bhujangasana, straight arms, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, gently rolling the spine down with awareness, tuck the toes, push strong onto the hands so that you can lift your hips back and up, so lengthening the spine first, and then you push onto the feet to finally lift the hips all the way up to the sky.
We'll take a few breaths here. You can still take some movement. What I like to do here, to work a little bit more on the side of the body, side legs and side of the body, is to try to, again, have a really strong grounding through hands but feet. So ideally your heels are right into the ground, so your feet are going to stay parallel and not move. All that you move is the hips. So you move the hips to one side, legs straight and the feet ideally not moving. So what's going to happen is that you're going to stretch from your pretty much the wrist elbow, but more so you'll feel it, the shoulder, kind of the armpit underneath, and the ribs, the side of the hip, and the side of the leg. And you can take a few movements like this. Inhale to the center, exhale to the side. It's really good actually for the side of the body, the side ribs. Inhaling back to center. And exhale, heels down, bend the knees, look forward, left foot forward. As you inhale, drop the back knee, point the toes. Lengthen the inhale by taking maybe little extra sips of air. Nice and smooth. Exhale, release, top of the mat. We try to keep the exhales same length as the inhale. Coming all the way up, next inhale. And we keep the palms together to stretch again, especially if you haven't had the opportunity. The side of the body, tilt to the right on the exhale. We'll take a breath here just to make sure that you are not leaning forward with the top shoulder, but we really get that side stretch. Inhale back to center, exhale to the left. Couple of breaths, the arms are as straight as possible. Inhale back to center, exhale, dive forward. So by now, hopefully, you are a little bit warm. Inhale straight back, so you might not need to bend the knees, but if you do, please just do that, making sure you're protecting the lower back, back legs. Inhale, right leg back. This time we keep the knee off, and we'll just linger here for a moment. At the front, the knee is right above the ankle, so it's a nice big giant step, and you're pushing your heel against an imaginary wall. At the same time, you want to reach your heart forward, so you activate your right quad, and you just work towards dropping your hips down, but not bending and collapsing with the back leg. The back leg is strong, shoulders back, heart forwards, chin up. Couple of breaths here, and you can actually even get maybe little movements. So the back leg is straight, not moving. You're just gently rolling on the ball of the back toe, and it's happening more so on, or it feels, it's happening more so on that front leg, as if the knee was creating circles around the foot, which ripples into the hips. Back to center, and we'll take the vinyasa, palms down, left foot to meet the right in chaturanga. If you want to build it up, you can lower down in one piece or just drop your knees. Inhale to the back bend of your choice, maybe the up dog, and exhale, find your way to the down dog. We're going to work a bit more with that right leg from this down dog. Got some flies that come and see me. Right leg up on the inhale. So stretch it nice and long. And you can open the hip, stacking the hips. Try to keep the shoulders as squared to the ground as possible. Bend your knee. So we start to explore a different stretch of the psoas. And we can take circles here, exhaling the knee towards the chest. You're back to squared hips. Inhale, knee back and up, opening the hips so you reach your knee up towards the sky. Exhale, knee forward and to the side towards the chest. So it's a nice big circle. Exhale, keep it to the chest. Move forward over your wrists. Step the right foot through. This time, drop your back knee. Hardha Hanuman, you reach the hips back, so you keep anchoring your right heel. Work towards straightening that right leg. Flex the right toes towards the chest. Move the chest towards the toes, so you elongate the spine. If you need to move your hands back for a little bit more support, that's fine. Otherwise, you can just keep them where they are. Inhale, rebend into the front leg, reach the heart forward, little elongation of the back leg. Exhale, hips back. We'll just do 3 movements like this. Inhale, last one. Exhale, keep the hips nice and squared. So the more you flex your toes, the more you should be feeling even the stretch on the calf. Inhale, come back, ground that foot, step the left foot to meet the right, back to forward fold Uttanasana. And inhale, press the feet strong to the earth, stretch back. Maybe a little back bend here. And release back to Tadasana on the exhale. And we do the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up, so we'll go for the side bend here. This time, if you want to go further, you can catch hold of your left wrist. Exhale to the right. So you pull the left wrist towards the right. You push the hips towards the left. Inhale, center, switch. Exhale, pull the right wrist. Right arm is straight. Grounding into the feet. Inhale, back to center. Stretch the fingers up to the sky. Exhale, keep stretching the fingers forward, elongating the spine as you fold over the legs, letting go everything, diving in. Inhale, long spine, look forward. Ideally the legs, the spine are straight. Exhale, left leg back onto your fingertips. So this is the runner's lounge. Activate the back leg, drop the hips. So you want to work towards opening the chest also there, but mostly what's important first is that work we did on the back leg, the hips dropping, so you have stability. So you want to hug the 2 legs together here, so strong into the pelvic floor muscles to keep the hips squared. And then you can, once you've got that and it's well established, maybe not on the first time, but takes work, you can work a bit more on the upper body, rolling the shoulders back, heart forward without losing the legs. And then you can do those little circles. If that helps, you can maybe also even bring your hands out a little bit more. It might help you a little bit with the movement. One more, and Then we'll vinyasa, planting palms into the ground. Stretch back, lower down on the exhale with control. Inhale to your back bend, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale. One breath to ground strongly into the hands and the right foot. Inhale, left leg. First, stretch the toes far back and up, opening the hip, stacking the hip, and then you bend your knee. And the exhale, knee is coming out towards the side and then towards the chest. So you're still in down dog, hips up. Inhale, open the hip, you keep your knee bent. Exhale, nice big circles. I think we have maybe one more. And this one. Keep the knee to the chest, step it through, drop the back knee for Ardha Hanuman. So you can either release the back toe or keep the back toe tucked in, your choice. I know this hamstring for me is tighter. Inhale, rebend the front knee forward. So you notice that here we stretch a bit more of the right hip flexor. Exhale. Now we are onto the back of the left leg. Inhale. So when you do this, you want to try to drop the hips here as you bend the left knee so that you can stretch the right PSOAS as much as possible. And back to the top. Forward fold. Inhale. Come up. Big breath in. Exhale, release. We're going to go a little bit further with a side stretch. Soft bend into your knees. You can separate your feet, maybe just a little bit, hip distance. Inhale. You catch your left wrist again. As you do so, you're going to bring your left leg behind the right leg. You can do a little step, or if you are more comfortable, you can go out so that the outside edge of the left foot is further out. So this way we get a bit more of a stretch onto the outside of the left leg, the hip, but of course you get a really good stretch onto the outside of the body, the ribs closer to the hips. So this helps also to stretch the QL a little bit more. Inhale, back to center. Switch. Right leg behind to your own ability. And exhale. So you need to bend into your standing leg. Now, this is the left. Couple breath here. And inhale, back to center. Fingers stretch up to the sky. Exhale, still elongating the spine as you dive in. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold, relax the abdomen. Right leg back, stay high onto the ball of your back foot. You can come onto your fingertips or palms down. We're going to work towards straightening the front leg. So a little bit the same as Ardha Hanuman kind of thing, but this is more of a pyramid. And inhale, you can rebend into your front knee like we did before, working the hips down towards the earth, but keeping the back leg strong, heart forward. Exhale, push your left foot kind of forward into the ball of the back foot to straighten that leg. Hips are still squared to the ground. Inhale, drop it. Roll the shoulders back, chin up. Last one. Exhale. Try to keep the back as flat as possible. And inhale, we rebend. Plant the hands if you haven't already. Vinyasa on the exhale. Remember, you can always bring the knees down. Exhale. Inhale, the right leg up. Keep it straight, hips squared, stretch it back. And exhale, step it through. Drop the back knee. Move your right foot out to the side. We move into lizard pose. So like we did before, you can drop your back toes, untuck the back toes, bring the right hand inside the right leg, and you can do any movement that you like here. So this is kind of open to you to feel what you might need. You might like to open the knee out. You might like to work towards, again, some sort of circles. It doesn't need to be big. It's just finding the different movements or effects on those circles, whatever you do on this PSOAS, hip flexor on the left side. Circles can go one way and the other way. You might feel a little bit different. You explore the stretch, the sensations in the psoas muscle. Obviously also the inside here of the leg on the right side. And if you can go further, you can come onto your elbows. And we'll come back to the center, neutral position. So from there, either on your hands or elbows, inhale your right arm up. So there's a little twist here. The exhale is going to see you reach far back, bend the left foot, or knee actually, to get hold of the foot. So you can get hold of the foot from the inside, the top or the outside. Again, just try. You want to try to roll your chest up towards the right and the sky. And this is a pretty good stretch for the quad, hip flexor, all the front of the leg here. As you work your heel towards your buttocks, still trying to relax the hips to the ground, either way. So I find if your kneecap is a little bit tender here, if you have the ability, obviously, maybe using blocks or bolsters, cushions, if you can, the more you're going to drop, the less you're going to be right on your kneecap. So that can help. And then we release. Hands to the ground. We'll move to chaturanga, right leg back, and gently lower all the way down onto the abdomen. This time we'll go for a shalabhasana. Stretch the arms back, palms facing up alongside the body, toes together. Inhale, lift the legs and the chest. Keep pushing the top of the hands on the ground. Just a few breaths here, just to work on those muscles of glutes and lower back. Very important to keep the stability around the pelvic region. Many flies. And slowly we release. Hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes or not for up dog. So if you tuck your toes, you've got a little bit of a stronger back bend. Exhale, down dog. From there, bend your knees and we'll try just a little jump. You can walk it if you prefer, or just take a little jump to the top. And inhale all the way back up. Take a little back bend here. Push the hips forward. Feel the stretch into the front of the body, the legs. And exhale. Release all the way back down to a forward fold. Inhale. Lift the chest. Look forward. Flat back. Exhale. Fold. Separate the feet. Maybe a little bit more already. Left hand under your heart. Inhale, bend your left knee, reach your right arm out and up, little twist here. So like we did before, we try to keep that spine, crown of the head, heart reaching forward. The spine is as horizontal as possible as you twist. So you should be feeling good, stretch into the back of the right leg, working a little bit on the spine as well and the shoulders. Exhale, replace the left hand with the right hand, straighten the legs, bend into your right knee, inhale, left arm up, still trying to work the shoulders away from the ears. Every inhale, you elongate the spine, every exhale, you twist a little bit more, you reach that left hip up and back, so you get that yummy stretch. Left glute, hamstring, and release. Maybe gently bend the knees a little bit. Inhale, heart forward, and exhale, fold, straighten the legs. Maybe catch hold of your elbows. We'll just give it a little shake side to side before the final on the other side of a good stretch. Back to center. Inhale again. Feel maybe the difference from the beginning. Exhale. Fold. Maybe you can fold a little bit easier, a little bit further. Left leg back. The inhale will work that pyramid. Exhale. So you kind of push your right foot forward, but it doesn't move. Hopefully you've got a good grounding, a sticky mat, so that it pushes your right hip back. Inhale, rebend to the runner's lounge. Feel that good stretch. So your hips are squared, pelvic floor muscles engaged. Keep working with the breath. Exhale, flat back. Eventually maybe you'll do it hands flat to the ground. Inhale. Last one, exhale. And inhale. Plant the hands. Stretch the right leg back. Lower slowly to the ground. A bit of a strong pose now. You're going to catch hold of your ankles, bending your knees. Tandrasana pose. Try to keep the toes touching. Exhale. Inhale. Kick your feet into your hands. So you work towards lifting your knees off the ground. Kick your foot to stretch the shoulders. Lift the chest. Chin up. And keep lifting the knees away from the earth, but try to keep the knees sort of close, not flaring out too much. Toes ideally are touching. If there's a little separation, that's okay. You just work through it as you repeat the sequence. Last breath, lift it up. And slowly exhale, you release. Hands under the shoulders. Again, you can either keep the toes untucked or tuck them for your back bend. On the inhale, exhale, stretch back down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Stretch it long towards the back. Exhale, step it through, drop the back knee, left foot out to the side, hand on the inside. And explore here once more. Maybe a gentle push with the left hand to the inside of the leg, maybe coming onto the outside blade of your left foot. That works obviously a bit more to the inside of the left leg. Maybe you take those circles one way and then the other way. That should be quite open by now around pelvic region, so that maybe you can explore going further onto the elbows. It's always possible here. I don't have blocks with me traveling, but you can put cushions, a bolster, blocks. That's a kind of way to lift up the ground and make the ground more available to you. And so again, either on your hands or blocks, elbows to the ground, wherever you are, we'll take a little sort of twist, inhaling the left arm up. So you open first through the chest. The exhale is going to reach back, bend the right knee, catch hold of the foot, and you want to move those hips forward. And again, like we did before in Tanurasana, it's kind of the same thing. You kick your foot into your hand to open through the chest at the same time, so you can bend your elbow a little bit so that you don't lose too much of the shoulder stretch. You can pull your foot in. The more you pull your foot in, so the heel towards the glute, the more you're going to feel that stretch on the hamstring and not the hamstring, sorry, the hip flexor. And again, if you change the position of your hand from the outside of the foot to the top to the inside, you're going to get a bit of a different stretch of the psoas muscles. A few more breaths here. Oh, it's so good. And you can also do little kind of pulses if that feels good, but gently. And then you release. Oh. Plant the hands, and we'll find a down dog, which you can walk again. Might feel good to release into the hips here, and you can kind of think of bringing or wanting to bring one knee to the opposite elbow, kind of walking, crouching forward kind of thing. Try and feel that. And we'll release for a little child's pose here, which I invite you to open your knees. Keep contact of the glutes with the heels as you move your hands slowly forward, so arms are straight. So as you walk your hands forward, at the same time, you want to think of still pushing into the ground so that you keep pushing your hips back, so you keep the good stretch in and around the pelvis. Otherwise, if you further out like Anahata, there is less happening obviously around the hips. So a good deep child's pose is stretching the front of the legs, the glutes, the lower back. Such a great pose for the lower back. It's elongating the spine also by reaching forward, not just with the hands, but obviously more so energetically the top of the head, so that we use the breath again to elongate the spine. Inhale, and this is on the exhales that you find a little bit more depth into the pose, but at the same time it's not so much with strength but more allowing, releasing, softening. These are the qualities of the out breath, which you hopefully want to see ripple into the asanas, the physical. The exhale is always really good to release emotional, mental tension, and you want to try to find also that the breath, the out breath, with these qualities are helping into the physical. So if you have those tight hip flexors, you want to breathe into them. You breathe in to give them energy, nutrients, prana, the life force, oxygen. So you direct your breath mentally first so that the physical can follow. And then on the out breath, which is releasing, softening, you can help them to relax. Again, there's a mental component that helps with the physical because it's all energy, and where the mind goes, the energy flows. So with the mind you direct your breath, and then it's not so much maybe the breath, the physical breath, but the consequences of the breath, the oxygen, the energy, that flows to the point that you are targeting with your mind because you are focusing there. This is your intention. And so you work there with intention, consciousness, directing the breath there. And slowly on the inhale, you can start to walk your hands back. Bring your knees back together. Maybe adjust your sit on your heels. Sit with a straight spine, chin slightly tucked in. Take a moment to feel. So I hope that this helped you. This is just a little snippet of what can be done. You might want to take a few little movements. I like to do little twists, or maybe a little walk forward and to the side, or the side. Maybe explore a little back bend with the hands behind, and you lift the chest. Maybe you even lift the hips. So you're gonna give a bit of a check here on those hip flexors and the front of the hips and see how it feels. You might do that by separating your knees a little bit more if you feel that you need a bit more grounding here. And you can maybe do that a few times. And there is a pose that is a little bit stronger here that helps, where you separate your feet and you drop behind. That stretches here, but that's more so for another time on a yin class. That was more to bring a little bit of movement and stretch to those hip flexors. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Stay well, breathe. Your life will thank you.